GM, everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today is Friday, the 31st of January. Let's get straight into the analysis. And as you can see, Bitcoin is currently holding above this trend line that we broke out from yesterday, looking fairly constructive here. If we just drop down to the 4 hour, then we can see we have come in, we have back tested this trend line earlier on today, or pretty much overnight, right at the start of today's session. So what I would be looking for now is for Bitcoin to hold above this trend line and start to make some pushes higher and looking to target new highs. If we do go on to the liquidation heat map for Bitcoin, what we can see is we do have some liquidity sat just below price coming into down to around about 103,000, which I think could get targeted over the New York session. So let's see this afternoon whether market makers do push us down and take that liquidity. We know they like to do that. But I think from there, what we will probably see is then a move higher to take out the liquidity above price. We've got a lot around 106,500. That's just looking at the 2 day outlook. And then if we look a little bit longer term on the weekly liquidations, then we can actually see that weekly liquidations are coming in at 106,500 all the way up to around about 108, 109,000. So that would obviously take us back to all-time highs on Bitcoin, which to be honest with you is what I am expecting really over the next few days. Of course, it might just consolidate a little bit longer. I have been preparing personally, both from a sort of emotional viewpoint and also a portfolio viewpoint to kind of say, look, I don't want to jump in, 100% max long. Let's effing go on everything on all assets right now. I do want to be still a little bit cautious because, look, I think we're still in a point in the market cycle where things are progressively looking more and more positive. We've had what was a fairly dovish Powell compared to December when he spoke a couple of days ago. And obviously, he's talked about the fact that they don't need inflation to be at 2% to start lowering rates. Inflation is still making progress down towards the 2% target. So, but we're still also seeing quantitative tightening. So this isn't a full pivot from QT to QE. It's likely this will be more gradual. They'll go from QT to neutral, then to QE later on this year. The market's starting to price that in, but it's not as if we've had a massive big finger on the button to say, right, let's go risk on, max long everything. Here we go. And obviously, it that will probably happen later this year. But by the time that does happen, I do think we will be a lot higher. I think the market knows that this is coming, but I'm still expecting the market to be trending in more of a gradual fashion as opposed to just a parabolic moonshot, both in Bitcoin and the altcoin space. So I think we just have to be a bit more patient in terms of waiting for this market to show its hand. Of course, well, I think the market has probably shown its hand, but in terms of getting more confirmation that we are really about to take off and see much more aggressive moves, much bigger multiples in things like the altcoin space, I think that will still take a little bit of time to happen. So that's Bitcoin. Like I say, optimistic that we do push up and at least test all-time highs again over the next week, and we'll see what happens from there. Looking at Ethereum, Ethereum is the one to really watch today because Ethereum is now above its 200 4-hour MA. It's also broken above this descending trend line that we've had drawn on for quite some time here. And yeah, it's starting to look good. This is what I've been talking about. This is what I've been saying. I've been waiting for on Ethereum. Obviously, we made the higher low. Now let's see if Ethereum can put in a higher high and get above 3,550. And from there, we should be heading up towards 4,000. Obviously, like I say with Bitcoin, I would expect us maybe to come in and retest this area. So maybe dip back down towards 3,300. I'm not expecting this move to be too aggressive, but of course it can at any point really start to get going. And yeah, obviously, I had been thinking potentially we might come down and sort of retest these lows around about 3,100, maybe even down to 3,000 one more time. But I think that probability has been significantly reduced now that Ethereum is starting to trade above this descending trend line. Obviously, we're not seeing much in the way of volume coming right now on Ethereum. So I think we still have to be a little bit cautious here, but price is looking constructive. Like I say, it is a breakout at the moment, and if we can establish ourselves above 3,350 and start to make our way up, like I say, really the key area for us to target now is going to be this 3,550, getting a breakout from there, and then we can look to higher prices on Ethereum. So Ethereum looking fairly good. In terms of resistance, we've only really got this moving average, which is going to be our 50-day moving average to take out. Obviously, we're above everything else, and just looking at our Fibonacci, we're coming up to the 382 retracement level here. So if we can get above that and above this 50, then I think we'll be heading up to that 3,550 level. Also, our point 0.5 retracement that we rejected from before, and obviously closes above that, lightly back up, heading towards 4,000. So yeah, still work to do, but it's encouraging. This is really what we've been waiting to see on Ethereum. Solana then also starting to look constructive here, holding above this 235 area that I did mark out as being a important area for us to hold on Solana and establish ourselves above. And what this means is we can likely head back towards the highs here at 264, and potentially if we can get a breakout and establish ourselves above there, I think Solana's not too far from going into price discovery and likely heading up towards our next target around about this 322. So this likely goes hand in hand with obviously Bitcoin getting to new all-time highs and Ethereum establishing itself and getting back towards 4,000. But I'm optimistic here. I'm expecting February is going to be a bullish month for not just Bitcoin, but I think crypto will start to wake up as well. We can see Pepe. We talked about wanting to see Pepe get above this 200 daily moving average. It is now crossing that 200-day moving average. So let's see if we can get a close above that. What we really want to see is a close above this 144 area here. And if we can establish ourselves back above these lows, then it will look like this has been a deviation and we can come and attack this trend line. And like I say, with Ethereum breaking its trend line, I think this will obviously most definitely help with the Pepe start to trend but start to trend towards, can't get my words out this morning, start to trend towards its trend line and obviously increase the possibility of a breakout. And I've said this before, as I've been talking with a few friends this morning just about the state of the meme coins. People asking me, do they hold their meme coins here that are on, open losses? Do they look to rotate? Obviously, I've been accumulating meme coins this week. I've even done a video about accumulating meme coins on Solana this week, putting my own money where my mouth is. I do think that obviously what we really need to see to get another meme season is it goes without saying, we need the majors to start to show strength again, and for Pepe really to break out from this descending trend line and start to make its way back to new all-time highs. From there, this probably coincides with Ethereum breaking out. We get the Ethereum majors starting to move, Solana starting to push back to all-time highs, Solana major memes recovering, and then we'll see obviously that sort of rotation, that trickle down effect into the sort of smaller and lower cap memes. Some memes that obviously I've gone into this week in anticipation of that rotation. So yeah, hoping that we're a couple of steps ahead with what we're expecting to happen. But that's, I'm obviously leaning on these breakouts in Ethereum, breakouts in Solana, rotation into altcoins, obviously Bitcoin dominance coming down. And after we get that rotation and larger cap alts have pumped, then we expect to see probably another meme season happening. Maybe not in February, a full-blown meme season. Maybe we start to see the initial sort of signs of that in February, but I think probably March, April is when we get a full-blown meme season. So just managing expectations, going to have to be a little bit patient. But yeah, Pepe starting to bounce back, which is good to see. So looking at Bitcoin dominance as well, we have had the rejection that I talked about. I said I wanted to see this reject at around about the 60%. Like I say, I'm not expecting this to be a full-on breakdown, but I'm expecting us probably to see some consolidation, start to see the first sort of indication that this is starting to trend down. And then I think this acceleration likely coincides with the macro data starting to point towards the Fed pivoting closer towards QE and dropping rates further. I think that is what we really will need to see that liquidity come into altcoins in a major way, and for altcoins to start to outperform Bitcoin. And it is still my opinion that over this year we will see Bitcoin dominance fall, so altcoins outperform Bitcoin. I don't see that trend changing, even though at the moment everybody only wants to talk about Bitcoin and regrets ever touching a meme coin in their whole life. Why did they not just go all in on Bitcoin and have Bitcoin as the 100% portfolio? I think everybody would be in a better place. But it's often at times like this when, like I say, you should be looking the other way and you should be thinking, okay, this is where we are right now. This is the news flow. It's all super bullish, super positive on Bitcoin. What happens next? So that's Bitcoin dominance as well. I've looked at Tether dominance as well, but yesterday, but I'll just update you on that. Yeah, I'm thinking maybe we get a bit more chop before this goes on to a full breakdown, but I am expecting this to break down in February, so nothing really changed there. Expecting this back down to the range lows, probably coincides with Bitcoin moving up to all-time highs, Ethereum pushing up a little bit higher, and then we see a bit more consolidation before we get that larger move down that I'm expecting in February. Dollar starting to push back up. Like I say, this is looking fairly corrective to me. Impulsive move down, corrective move back up, corrective retrace. I'm expecting dollar probably has topped and will come down further over the next few weeks and months. And quickly looking at the stock markets, surprise, surprise, stock markets pushing back up, filling the gap that they created over the weekend. And Nasdaq, similar story, pushing up again today. Nice green stocks for the day. Going to be a nice tailwind for our crypto bags. So I'm going to wrap it up there. Obviously, thank you very much for watching, and yeah, have a fantastic day. I will be back again, same time, same place tomorrow with another update. So yeah, stay tuned for that. Obviously, plenty more alpha to come, plenty more videos that I'll be making specifically on altcoins now that Bitcoin dominance, I think, is starting to turn around. Obviously, we want to be looking for opportunities in altcoins. I've already done the video about Solana meme coins, so there will be some other altcoin videos coming very, very shortly. So do subscribe not to miss out. Have a great one, and I'll talk to you all again soon. GM, GM, GM.